Peace, 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 peace. I know I'm a little early, but knowing how people are, and they usually hop on at the 20 to 30 minute uh, spot, I'd rather start it now, and by the time noon happens, it's on and popping, than having to wait until 12:30 and it's not. If you've been paying attention to the channel today, I've been dropping a lot of videos I had back in the day. Now, let me check. Let me check. Let's see. Okay, let me check the audio. All right, that's peace. Audio's good. Let's get into it. Of course, I'm gonna wait for people to come through. Peace, peace, peace to everyone that came on. That's on. Let's like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace, peace. I'm excited. Yesterday, I was going to come on. I had a whole bunch of stuff to do though. So, McNair born. Who's up in the room with me? Peace. Peace. Yeah. So, like I was saying, man, I was real busy yesterday. Had to get stuff done, and actually, I'm busy today too. But I definitely want to get this one out there. Get this one out there. Justice or justified? I think this is going to be a good one. So hold on. I gotta make sure get all my stuff ready. Righteous Jewel Credit Union. If you guys want to donate, show love to something actually positive and building. I'm a part of something bigger than myself, and we doing our thing. See, this YouTube channel, it's not all that I do. I'm a man of my community. See, I'm a man of the world. So Allah is seen and heard everywhere, not just on line. See, I'm not I'm not a mystery God. I'm not a mystery. I'm seen and heard everywhere. So let me change the change. Indeed. So I'm not a mystery. I'm seen and heard where I'm seen and heard at. Yeah, so I'm not just on YouTube. Indeed. But peace, whoever's in here with me, peace to you, no matter who you are. Peace. And yeah, we let's have a productive and civilized build today. My last build was interesting, and it inspired the title of this live right here: Justice or Justified. I'm sure people are busy. It's a Saturday. It's like 2:30 in the East Coast. It's 11:35 over here. So I'm not really expecting many people to come on during the live and build. So I put the link in the chat. I put my Cash App if you want to make donations to the channel. $ wise P Allah on the Righteous Jewels Credit Union. $A Allah. Like I said, I do more than just this channel. If I if I had the time, if I actually wanted to make the time, I should say, I would dedicate more to this channel. But I think it's a nice, healthy balance. It's a nice, healthy balance right now. So my one viewer, you don't want to make knowledge born. You don't want to talk to me. Make yourself known in the chat. So it's not like I'm just talking to myself. Talking to you. Let's build. I know normally people comment around the 20-minute mark, but I'm usually not on Saturdays, so I probably gotta push this one out. Yeah, sent out the sent out the stuff. Should be a good build. I'm expecting maybe like 10 people at the most to come through. Uh, let's get started, right? Let's get started. So, Pace, your brother Wise Prince Allah in the building. I'm in the building. So, it's been a few days. It's been a few days. And the last build, I don't know if y'all caught it. Lord Bernie's rant. Is Wise Prince a savage? I don't know if y'all caught it. I listened to it repeatedly. And you see, I can see where I could have let Lord Bernie, I could have let him speak more. See what I'm saying? I could have let him speak more because when I'm listening to it, I caught a lot of what he was saying, but I was talking over him. And just like that plus degree I was telling y'all about, the 7 characteristics of a wise person, number 3 is a wise person does not interrupt. You see, so I can see where I was in error in that video. I should just let him talk, let him get what his, whatever his emotional state or whatever he wanted to say out. Emotions isn't a bad thing. You see, as a 5 percenter, I have passion for these teachings. I had love for the God. I'm not talking about Lord Burden. I'm talking about the gods and earths. See what I'm saying? I got love for the 5%. I got love for Allah and love for justice. Got love for the 5%. So, one does not interrupt. Another thing in that plus degree, it says one deals with first things first and last things last. So, in that build, I wouldn't even call it a build. In that video, the build came after he hung up because I was building. In that video, I can see, and mind you, I don't know how old this man is. He said he got the knowledge or he got 120 in 1990. At that time, I was 1 year old. And it seemed to me I was the one that was calm. I was the one that didn't lose the knowledge of myself. So, justice or justified. I see people left. This actually might be a short one, depending on if people come through. This might actually be a short build. So, um, justice or justified. See, justice is one's reward or penalty for one's ways and actions. And justice is not something that I look outside of myself. I don't subscribe to something greater than me dishing out justice. I don't. I don't believe in a mystery God. I don't believe in some higher power that has uh, karmatic or karma principles that come back and just balances the universe. See, the foundation is the supreme mathematics. So, justice being the 10th principle in the supreme alphabet, as knowledge adding to the cipher. So, knowledge is to know at its simplest form, its purest form, just to know. Now, is that the only definition? No cipher. Peace, divine king. How you living, God? Knowledge is also to look, study, observe, and respect. You could throw listening in there too. Look, listen, observe, respect. Power, equality, Allah sees everything. Hold on, let me put this up there so people know that, I'm not just saying things. So, justice being all wise and righteous, Lord, I, God, is knowledge also, indeed. Oh, like I said, yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. Knowledge is infinite, you see. All wise and righteous, Lord, indeed. Peace. Yeah, so justice being knowledge adding on to the cipher. And a cipher is a person, place, or thing in its entirety, 360 degrees. And it all borns back to knowledge, which is the foundation. So the knowledge that I bring to a cipher has to reflect the knowledge that I brought that should be brought out of the cipher. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, right? We're going to have a cipher right now, right? There's a particular knowledge that I had before the cipher. You know what I'm saying? And going inside a cipher, I should receive something beneficial that I take out. Now, again, I don't believe in a mystery God. I don't believe that there's an all knowing being that knows everything. I don't subscribe to that. So that means me saying I'm God, I don't view myself as that either. And me not viewing myself as that, that means I have room to grow and learn. So when I go into a cipher, that I expect to learn something. I take the best part of that cipher and take it out with me. And that's the knowledge being born back to the knowledge. That knowledge at a cipher being born back to the knowledge. And that's the justice. So, justice being one's reward or penalty for one's ways and action. If you go into a situation knowing that you're righteous and your intention is righteous, Your reward would be the best part of that situation. If you go into a cipher with unrighteous intentions, what comes back is a penalty. Now, it may not be that day, that week, that month, that year, whatever. See, justice is one's reward or penalty for one's ways and actions. If your ways and actions should be penalized, then I mean, you don't have to accept the penalty. You know, now, justified. Do we justify to ourselves our ways and actions? That's something I'm asking the group, like, do y'all think we justified? And the 5%, do we teach justice or justification? That's a good question. Indeed. On the post, I said, get ready to build. Hey, look, I'm ready. I'm ready to build, man. I'm excited to be amongst my brothers in different locations. You see, look, check this out. I'm not even going to lie. That's honest. As a 5% no, but as individuals, I would say yes, Lord. Indeed. I was just going to go into that. I mean, I'm going to keep that up. Peace, Divine King. I would agree. Oftentimes, we bring a lot of what we know as we take our journey as being a 5%. You see, it's not like when we take our 3-day fast, the men in black come and flash us with that light, and then we forget about, however, whatever we forgot about. You know what I'm saying? The certain time or whatever. We always bring stuff with us as we're learning. And oftentimes we call these, I mean, a lot, not all that stuff is bad. See, our parents taught us a degree of civilization, or even certain degrees of civilization, depending on how equipped they were. Brushing your teeth, doing combing your hair, washing your face, putting deodorant on, how to act at home and abroad, all this stuff. Not to talk to strangers. I mean, that's a different degree of civilization, depending on, depending on where you at. The city life and the rural life is a little different. You see, in the country, more rural areas, right? They're taught to speak to people and have, what they say, Southern hospitality. And that could be, big cities down there and all that stuff. That's just a cultural thing. Up north is a little different. On the west is a little different. I don't want to get too caught up in that one. As 5% we deal with or spout are supposed to deal with the facts only. No matter if it's against us or for us, we have to always speak truth. Damn, Divine. Look, man, you came to build, huh? You came with it. As 5% we deal with or are supposed to deal with facts only. No matter if it's against us or for us, we have to always speak truth. Indeed. I agree 100%. And as people, righteous people that don't believe in a mystery God that knows everything before it happens, we took that pen out. We took that pen out of our head. The true and living gods, right? And earth. We took that pen out of our head and we accept that we don't know everything. And with that being said, I don't expect you to know everything. So by you not knowing everything, I don't penalize you for not knowing everything. See, there's a thing like the 5% have been here approximately or established since approximately October 10th, 1964. Now that's the date that we have agreed. Now, of course, people had knowledge before that. We can go with, October 7th, firstborn Black Messiah, the Black Messiah, all that stuff, right? Indeed. Now, we have agreed. Brothers had knowledge before that. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about 1964, right? So just in that span from 1964 to 1967, there's a whole bunch of people born and a whole bunch of people influenced by the 5%. So the brothers in the 60s and the brothers in the 70s aren't the same people. They're dealing with different things. You see what I'm saying? In the 60s, you're dealing with civil rights, you're dealing with the Vietnam War, you're dealing with a whole bunch of different things. You're dealing with heroin and its effect from the 50s, you're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. In the 70s, you're dealing with cocaine, you're dealing with, black exploitation movies, all that stuff. You're dealing with a whole bunch of different things. You talk about the Black Power era of movement. You're also talking about the feminist movement coming too. So just in the 60s and the 70s, right? There's they dealing with different things. You see what I'm saying? Now, from the 70s and the 80s, you're dealing with different things too. In the late 70s, you're dealing with crack in certain places. In the 80s, you're dealing with crack everywhere. You see, you there and just crack alone, but then you got You got a whole bunch of different things. You got hip hop coming. It's different things, different influences. You know what I'm saying? And by 1984, the 5% is 20 years old. The nation is 20 years old. And then you got some people in the 80s that just got it, and there's some people in the 80s that had it for over 20 years. Indeed. And in the 80s and the 90s is different. The 90s and the 2000, the 2000 and 2010, the 2010 and the 2020s. And all these people, because remember, the people in the 60s are still around. You know what I'm saying? The people in the 60s and 70s are still around. And they were dealing with different things. I'm not saying we don't see eye to eye. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they was experiencing different things at different times. Remember, this nation is almost 60 years old. It's almost 60 years old. Different experiences. So all that to say, there's stuff in the 60s the brothers know that I don't know because they experienced it. So it's the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. I got the knowledge in the 2010s. There's certain stuff I know that the brothers in the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s don't know. Or they may know, but there's certain experiences, different experiences. I grew up in a uh, technology age, is what they call it. My formative years is when the tech bubble came. So hold on, indeed. A lot of us had forms of civilization before we got knowledge of self. Knowledge of self is supposed to enhance our civilization. Indeed. He who knows everything knows nothing. Word is bond. Word. Different experiences, indeed. Knowledge is infinite. Peace, Mr. W. Welcome to the channel. Nobody knows everything. Indeed. Imagine being in the presence of Brother Malcolm and being in an era of Tupac and now being in an era where none of the youth can relate to just those individuals. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Because they see it. Look, to know what Malcolm said, I have to watch old videos. That that's not the same as listening on the radio, watching the TV and live, living in the moment of when Malcolm was talking. Is completely different. Knowing how it was in the 60s. Look, in the 60s, they was returning everybody. Presidents got killed. Well, president, and then his little brother, Bobby Kennedy, JFK, and Robert Kennedy. So yeah, like you're experiencing Malcolm, listening to him, and then he gets returned, and then you're like, okay, I met Allah, listening to Allah, and Allah's teaching us all that stuff. Dr. King gets returned. You see what I'm saying? And then, you stop in the riots in your city, and in 1969, Allah gets returned. You know, there had to be a lot of heart for those brothers and sisters that kept teaching, you know, after Allah was returned. So, yeah, that makes sense. So, being in the presence of Malcolm, you don't even got to be his physical presence, but just in that era, in that time, hearing that on the radio, watching it on your black and white TV, just being in the time is different. And then some of those brothers still alive, so then they got to see the Black Panthers rise up and fall. They got to see the 90s where the black consciousness came back up. You see what I'm saying? They got to see a brother like Tupac speaking, and then they got to see all that falling down again. Yeah, indeed, Mr. W. That's why we come together to share our knowledge. Indeed, indeed, because then in doing that, you coming in a state of righteousness and being humble, because hold on, what did Mr. W say? Nobody knows everything. So you come in a state of being righteous and having righteous intentions and knowing that you don't know everything and that you're coming to the cipher willing to learn and add on. Mr. W said that's why we come together, to share our knowledge. Indeed. And share our understanding. So knowing that, it's not just and true trying to put this, oh, you're supposed to know everything. We have different experiences. See, I grew up in the 90s, but I was a little kid. That's different than someone who grew up in the 80s and there was a teenager and adult in the 90s. They remember things differently than me. You see what I'm saying? Just like I was a teenager and adult in the 2000s. I remember differently than the kids that was born in the 2000s and they grew up in the 2000s. Things is different. So with that being said, that's the best part. With that being said, is it justice to then use what we've experienced and know against people that may not know the same thing? Or is it justified being, oh, I have an arterial motive that, hold on, I got my water bottle. I came ready. So, or is it justified to have an ulterior motive? And then be like, oh, well, I don't like these certain things you say. So then everything you say is wrong. Now, that may not even be the case. Divine King could say something I don't agree with, and it could still be peace. Peace, Ahmad Gilchrist. Peace. Peace, G. Look, we don't have to agree on everything. Look, I don't even agree with myself 100% of times. That's some real shit. That's real. For example, look, if I say, yeah, we just gotta hold on. Before I go into it, Divine King said something important. Just have to just have to focus on what we do agree on. Indeed, and not let the things that we disagree on stop the brotherhood of the 5%. Peace, smell good. Peace. Just getting off the justice, battling car trouble on the way home, though. Just making knowledge for peace. Appreciate that, G. So that being said, right, is that so like I said, I don't even agree with myself all the time. For example, have you ever somebody ever asked you to do something and you gave your word before even really thinking about it? And I'm not even talking about you could have done it before you got to knowledge, when you got to knowledge, right at the second, whatever. Have you ever gave somebody your word like, yeah, I'll help you do something. Yeah, I'll let you borrow some money. Yeah, this, yeah, that. And you was like, why did I even say that? Knowing damn well they're not going to give me back my money, knowing damn well they're not going to appreciate it. If I help them move their house, they're not going to feed me. Has that ever happened to you? I'm going to keep it all the way funky. It happened to me. I gave somebody my word. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll help you out with this. And then afterwards, I was like, damn. And it doesn't even have to be immediately after. It could just be, you know, okay, well, hours go by, days go by, like, damn, I really don't want to do that because of this. Is that justice or justification? I see that as justification. Like, damn, man, have have you not heard that your word shall be bond regardless to whom or what? Answer. Yes, my word is bond. A bond is life, and I shall give my life before my word shall what? Fail. Like I said, I don't even agree with myself all the time. So why should I have to agree with someone else? Another thing, right? Maybe this is even more simple. I'm vegan. I don't eat dairy. I don't eat meat. Don't eat any of that stuff. But there are sometimes I see a Snickers, a little Snickers, those fun size Snickers, right? Or I see, look, Mr. Goodbar is an old school candy. One of my favorite candies. Look, AG Prince, you don't eat that, man. Don't eat that. Oftentimes I don't. But there's sometimes I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And before I talk myself out of it, I grab the Snicker and eat it. At that moment, I didn't even agree with what myself. So why should I have to agree with everything to come back with Mr. Goodbar? Look, Mr. Goodbar is look, it's my favorite candy. No, it's my favorite chocolate. My favorite chocolate. And it's simple. Chocolate and peanuts. And it doesn't even taste the same as it used to. Butterfingers was my all-time favorite. But a lot of times they're stale and shit. But all that to say, I don't even agree with myself all the time. So why should I have to agree with Divine King all the time? Or Smells Good, or Mal Gilchrist, Mr. W, God Cypher Divine, Knowledge I Gotta Love, Knowledge Born, Dark Him. Like, why do we have to agree with every single thing? Dark Him doesn't like onions. I love onions. You see what I'm saying? I love onions. Dark Him don't like onions. If I were to give Dark Him a sandwich and it had onions on it, he's not going to eat it. I'm like, gee, what's wrong with you? You need more onions. Nah, gee, I don't like it. I can't then be like, nah, man, you wasting my money. I knew beforehand he didn't like it. We don't have to agree with everything. We agreed that the black man is God. We agree on the teachings of Allah. Indeed. So going back, just have to focus on what we agree on. Okay. Peace, peace. I feel that way about the 85%. I don't have to believe in a mystery God and don't subscribe to it, but I don't mind building with a religious person on history/science. Indeed, because remember, right? A lot of us got our first degrees of civilization from religious people. That's why we take the best part and leave the rest. Because you can learn from these people. You get what I'm saying? They may identify as a religious person or a spiritual person, right? But they still have certain degrees of wisdom just by living the way they're living. If someone is homeless and is religious and praying for someone to drop some steak at their feet, and you listen to them, you can get some gems on how not to become homeless. Drug addicts will often tell you don't do the drugs that they do. People that smoke cigarettes, they ask, do you smoke cigarette? You got a cigarette? Like, nah, man, look, I don't smoke cigarettes. They often say that's good. Don't start. Definitely had a few of those moments. Yeah, man, look. Like, damn, why did I let them get my last $20 bill? I needed that. Yeah, man, took it back to Mr. Goodbar. Yeah, left my ass off. That's what I did the first time I did the 3-day fast. My second day, I was walking past a bunch of food spots and I gave in just because I was starving or felt like, look, hey, look, justice or justification. And I feel you, Divine King. I feel that second day is the hardest day. The first day you can be like, all right, cool. Oftentimes, we can go through a day and be like, damn, did I eat? Like you could be so busy doing whatever you're doing. Like, damn, did I even eat? Okay, I could eat just eat some, late, have a late night snack or something. And you can get away with that. But that second day, right, the full 24 hours, and then beyond that, that's the hardest time, at least for me. The first day is easy. Second day is tough. The third day, I mean, it's the easiest day. I'm breezing past it. I'm breezing past it. Yeah, man. Look, on your second day, look, you just gotta go around the corner, G. You can't be walking by the food stop the food spots, G. You, look, man, you don't do that. Yeah, if you agree with someone all the time, do you really have your own mind? No. No, you don't. No, you don't. Honestly, like if we're really honest, we don't agree with ourselves all the time. Or at least we don't agree with what we do all the time. Like, damn, man, should never even knock that chick. Man, she was a waste of my time. And then she hits you up, you go back over there to knock it one more time. Be like, damn, I don't know why I did that again. This isn't a son someone kind of situation. You know the you better eat that sandwich. They're starving kids in Africa type of thought. Yeah. Hey, hey man, look. you know, you know the better you better eat that sandwich. They're starving kids in Africa type of thought patterns. Look, man, yeah. Look. Indeed. Social media is training minds to not think for themselves and just follow. Indeed. Indeed. And that's why we should always ever get to you, Divine King. That's funny. Yeah, so that's why it's important for the 5% to also be present on social media. Not that our rallies should just, not that we shouldn't be amongst each other. Because how I got it is Allah said, you want to see me come together. That's how I got it, right? So we still have to come together. You see what I'm saying? We still got to come together. And we got to give that power back to them to think for themselves. Stay out of my mind, wise. Damn, I'm dealing with that right now. Look, man. Look, G, I'm telling you. We don't gotta, yeah, man, look. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, G. Knew after a 20-minute conversation I shouldn't have been dealing with her, but still making justifications for why I allow her in my sight. Look, man. Look. Hey, man, look. It is what it is, G. It is. Once you know better, you don't always have to choose better, G. You don't always got to choose better. You see, the G said no, he knew after a 20-minute conversation. But once you know, you can then make the choice. You can then make the choice. Look, hey, hey, man, look, it is what it is. Everything's real. Everything's real. That's also a part of the non-mystery God teachings. Look, we not holy. We're righteous. So yeah, maybe she don't got nothing in that head of hers. But look, she looking good. Hey, look, she probably will never be in 3/4. She's not the earth, right? And sometimes she looks good enough to be the Earth. Sometimes she's Mars. Sometimes she's Mars. And she's 49 million miles away from Earth. For those that know actual facts, you see what I just did. She's 49 million miles from the Earth, right? And they look, sometimes they could look alike. No, they, yeah. Look, man. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get to you, Divine King. Look, man, look. Justifications, man. Justifications. Hey, Divine King, you're on the roll, G. That's one of those. Why is wisdom water so wet? Hey, look. Hey, we got to keep it all the way funky, man. We got to keep it all the way funky. As long as look, this is a justification, it's not justice. It's a justification, right? And even in the justification, there's still justice, right? Because the why is wisdom water so wet? Look, hey, you never know, man. Look, the earth is made or grown from the beginning. And the beginning is when she met you. Hey, look, man. Everything real, G. I tell myself now I might be able to civilize. Hey, look, G. Remember, we gotta civilize all the human families of the planet Earth. You know, and the Earth is made or grown from the beginning, and she's made from the beginning when she caught your eye. You see what I'm saying? So as long as you can further her education, then and also as long as she's not a color woman. Hey, look, I won't look. You do your thing, man. I can't tell you. Um, it smells good, man. Come on now. Smells good. Come on, G. Come on now. That's right. I've been punished for skinny dipping twice in my life. Swimsuits are a must nowadays. Look, I don't know if y'all read in between that, but I did. Hey, look, Divine King and Smell Goods is on a roll, man. They're on a roll. So we know and understand that we don't agree with ourselves all the time. So, it's not a possibility to agree with someone else, with knowledge and wisdom. We're not going to agree with someone else all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, there's been times on my life I've been eating beans, rice, cornbread, and avocado. And someone said eating cornbread is eating the wrong foods. I mean, that's peace. So, okay. I'm still going to eat cornbread. That's just a choice I made. I heard what Allah said about part itself. I heard what Allah said about cornbread. I heard what he said. But look, I'm not about to make it out alive. I don't plan to live 200 years. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep eating my cornbread, and y'all can keep eating them baby back ribs on the low, because y'all not fooling me. Y'all not fooling me. You guys talk about me eating cornbread. But y'all eating baby back ribs right now with extra barbecue sauce. All of them. Yeah. And I'm trying to do my duty as a civilized. Hey, Divine King, look, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. Everything is real. We don't teach abstinence. Hey, that's not our science. I like my wisdom Nubian. Indeed. I don't know if I could give up cornbread. God, look, man, look. Hey, I gave up the pork. I gave up the swine. I never liked the seafood, so the swine of the sea was never hard. Like, man, look, at some point, you got to make your decision. I like my cornbread. I don't eat Jiffies because it has pork in it. I don't eat Jiffies. The regular cornbread has pork in it. Yeah, it's definitely some folks eating pigs still who claim to be one of us. Indeed. And some of these people be on my live talk about all this and that and this and that and talking all this mess. And then all this mess. And then like, oh, you're not right exact, all this stuff. Look, and they just got done eating some chitlins and some pig feet. You see what I'm saying? Like, look, okay, we're not religious. We're not religious. Eating pig does not ungod you. It doesn't ungod you. But look, man, look. I, you disqualified yourself as being the 5%. I'm just saying, West Coast wise, I thought we was making knowledge born in order for others to add the knowledge that I gained to their cipher so that they know to make a better decision. Indeed. Indeed. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. It's right and exact. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. Y'all didn't know Jiffy's has pork in it. It has Lord. You see? So I don't know if y'all got the packet on the things that is righteous to eat. Indeed. Yeah. So the one thing about pork, the swine, is that they have it under different names. So, lard, gelatin. You see, gelatin isn't necessarily just pork. When companies list it and they're specific, they say gelatin and then parentheses they have fish or whatever else. But when they don't do that, you don't know what's in there. So don't eat it. Because gelatin is made out of bones, cartilage, fat, skin, all that stuff. You don't know what's in it. Hey, I'm going to hit your math, and if you can send me that list of things not to eat, if you can, Lord. Indeed, I'm gonna find it, and then I'm gonna scan it, and I'm gonna put it on the community tab on this page so that everybody can see it. Indeed. So I gotta find it. It shouldn't be. It should be in here in my office. Um, but I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna scan it on my printer, and then I'm gonna upload it on I'm gonna upload it on the community tab so everybody can see it and it's accessible at all times. And if you guys want, you can print it and then have it with you, all that stuff. Yeah, but like smells good. Just saying, West Coast Wise, I thought we was making knowledge born in order for others to add the knowledge that I gained to their cipher so that they know to make better decisions. Indeed, each one teach one. And once you know better, you have a choice to do better. Normally, is once you know better, you do better, right? Look, you have a choice to do better once you know better. Because after knowledge, it's you see, knowledge is one, right? For a reason. It's the foundation. Once you get to wisdom, there's a choice implied. There's a choice implied. You can be wise, you can be other than wise, or you can be unwise. Just like understanding. Now, these other things isn't in or supreme mathematics. And supreme mathematics is, the key to understanding the universe, right? With that said, okay, having knowledge is one, right? You have to understand then there's also things that could be considered trick knowledge. You see what I'm saying? But it had to have come from knowledge first because knowledge is foundation. Just like wisdom, wise to dumb. If you do the etymology, you see that those two words, WIS, wise, or whiz, and BOM, dumb, these are two different words that they put together. That's why I say wisdom is, you know, being wise on your dome or wising the dumb out, right? So, or I mean, that's what we say. I don't say that necessarily. We all say it. You get what I'm saying? Or a lot of us say it. And understanding, you can have a misunderstanding. You see, there's choices. There's choices. Once you get past knowledge, this is how just how I see it. Once you get past knowledge, there's certain things, there's certain choices. Wisdom, yes. Wisdom is the way we make knowledge born, right? However, everybody is not wise. You know what I'm saying? And so, how I see the supreme math and alphabet is that it doesn't just apply to the 5%. See, these are keys to the universe, so it applies to everyone. Everything that exists, supreme mathematics applies to. So that's why in the last bill, when I was talking about power just being the truth, I don't necessarily agree with that because it's not that case in every situation. I know what the enlightener says. I know what we say as the 5%. I have no problem with that. You see what I'm saying? But if we're only saying the supreme math applies to the 5%, cool. But I see the supreme math and alphabet applying to everything in life. Everything. So there's certain things that okay, and certain things like when I'm talking to a 5-year old, knowledge means to know. You get what I'm saying? When I'm talking to the gods, for example, right? If if we're in a cipher, we're in a cipher. It's me, Divine King, Ahmad Gilchrist, smells good, knowledge I got Allah, right? We're in a cipher. And the first person, let's say knowledge king or divine king, right? Pardon self. Divine King is like, all right, let's say it's a knowledge day. You see, it's the first of the month. So Divine's like, peace, God. How I see today's mathematics is knowledge. Knowledge means to know. You see what I'm saying? And he go and he does his breakdown and he applies it to the knowledge degree in 110. So then I'm next. Am I then going to say, peace of the gods? Today's degree is knowledge, and knowledge means to know. Am I then going to say that? No, you got to swift it up. You got to be swift and changeable. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not parrots. We don't have, we have the mind of Allah, but we also have our own minds to draw up things, or we have our own minds for our own understanding, I should say, rather. You get what I'm saying? So our understanding is going to be, you know, different in a way that, okay, I express this differently. So Divine King is like, peace, today's degree is knowledge. So, knowledge means to know. And he does his breakdown, and then I'm next. I'm not going to say peace. Today's degree is knowledge. Knowledge means to know. And then I then do the same breakdown as him. Everybody in that cipher is going to look at me crazy, like, you just bit off the God. But you don't have your own understanding. You see what I'm saying? You don't got your own wisdom. You see what I'm saying? He already said that. Why are you going to talk verbatim? Indeed, indeed, indeed. So there's certain situations where it's peace to be broad, but then when you build it with particular people, you got to refine it and focus it on so that it's laser sharp and that have you ever built and then your build was long and like so let's keep it funky. When we was all first starting, our our light wasn't that strong. You see what I'm saying? Like our builds, it wasn't that strong. There was a whole bunch of and pauses, and you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. I'm gonna keep it funky. So when early on, I had a whole bunch of and this and that, and certain degrees of knowledge. And it's important to go through your math alphabet every day so that you practice speaking it. You know what I'm saying? You practice it and then you get fluent in it, just like a language. You get fluent in it to where it's nothing to just boom like that. And then you do that with the degrees. So it's nothing to just boom like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's fluent. So when I was first learning the knowledge degree, who is the original man? The original. Oh, hold on. You got to say answer. Par himself. Uh, answer. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe. You see what I'm saying? You're saying it like you're not sure. And as I progress, I can, do it like that. I'm asleep, and it's peace. So it shows the growth. You see where it's at different levels. And I'm not saying I'm unreproachable. It look, if I'm wrong, you have to show and prove don't tell me I'm just wrong. You gotta show and prove it. You see what I'm saying? Because we don't take none on face value. Just like I show and prove that I'm right. We don't take nothing on face value. It's a lot of people who know about the 5%, but may not be the 5%. And they use the supreme mathematics. They are taking the best part from their perspective. Indeed. Gotta have my second one. Indeed, Divine King. Look, the supreme mathematics, look, are Allah create the the 5%, but he created the supreme math and alphabet. But check this out. All of that is in 120. And those words existed before I don't want to say before Allah, before he put them in the order that it was in. See, none existed before Allah. What I'm saying is that those words existed before he put them in those order, right? Just like the laws of the universe existed before certain people founded the sciences to study them. You know what I'm saying? So, Allah gave us the supreme mathematics and alphabets. You see what I'm saying? Allah is the founder of this nation. He's the father of this nation, right? And we his family. Now, do we then say the supreme mathematics and alphabet belong to us and that nobody can use it? I I don't agree with that. Because check this out. We're supposed to teach knowledge and wisdom to all the human families of the planet Earth. You see, so and within that, I see it as, supreme math, supreme alphabets. It doesn't have to be like that, but just the origin of their world, knowledge. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying specifically supreme alphabet. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying just the knowledge of who they are, their origin in this world, civilization, righteousness, and the knowledge of themselves. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a supreme mathematics, but that belongs to the world. Allah gave us the supreme math and alphabets, to understand, to have a key to the universe, to understand our place in the universe. And that's peace, right? I'm not about to keep it under lock and key from people that want to use it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not a Mason. I'm not a Mason. I'm not going to keep things from the people. Now, if they want to use it correctly, they have to come amongst us. They want to use it and they want to be 5%ers, they must walk with God. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know, and if y'all disagree, let me know. Like, do you think the supreme math and alphabet only belongs to a lost 5%? Only to the 5%? That we should keep the supreme math and alphabets to ourselves? Do y'all think that? Let me know. Maybe I'm wrong, because I don't view it like that. I don't subscribe to that. I don't keep things from people. It's not a secret to me. You have to add to knowledge. You have to add to knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. Knowledge means to know. Doing the knowledge means to stop, look, listen, observe, and respect, etc. Peace. I agree. What's the difference between having knowledge and having instinct? It's a good question. and I see smell goods is breaking it down, right? So just um just my reply off the top of the head, right? Uh instincts instincts could be wrong. You see what I'm saying? So okay, like when you when you're first born, right? You have innate instincts. When you're a baby, you don't like loud noises. So you like bunch up like this, make yourself smaller. You like this. You see what I'm saying? So there's certain instincts like you when something is by your mouth, you turn to it to try to suck on it, right? So in with instincts, it's like, okay, that's innate instincts. Okay, you're born with these things, all that stuff, right? And there's also instincts that can be dull, right? So if you're living in a relatively safe area, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to pick up on certain shit. Hold on, let me. My legs are starting to get sleepy with this setup, so I gotta lean back a little. All right, so indeed, so like I said, smell goods is breaking it down. But like I said, off the top of the dome, your instincts they could be wrong. You see, that's kind of like a woman's intuition. It could be wrong. You see what I'm saying? And knowledge is facts and data obtained through investigation, study, or observation. See, knowledge is facts. Your instincts, when I hear instincts, it's you're dealing with observation and in the forms of like it doesn't have to rely totally on all your um your senses. Like you can look at something and be like, okay, they look like they're about to beef and start shooting, so I'm gonna leave. I have this feeling in a pit of my stomach that man, something's going to happen, and then you leave because that's your instinct, but nothing happens. Okay, now you could say, well, maybe because you left, nothing happens because you affect all those around you. You see, that's just how I see it. So let's get down to smells goods. All right, instinct, a natural way or a natural or intuitive way of acting or thinking. Mm. I haven't told y'all, but last few days I've been having a real like bad toothache or something. Like my mouth is like also a natural propensity of or skill of a specific kind. Hold on, let's try that again. Also, a natural propensity or skill of a specific kind, a specified kind. Also, the fact or quality of possessing innate behavior patterns. Oh yeah, so it's kind of like what I was saying. So instinct is a type of knowledge. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that because, like, let's say, for example, if you're a soldier and you're being trained, right? So you're trained to react in certain instances, right? And then you rely on your senses to, right, be aware. So knowledge means to be aware, also, right? So, um, So you training and just relying on your instincts a little more. It's that's again instincts isn't facts. Yeah, G. All those words is. I think you probably did that so that they could all fit. Similar. Hold on. Similar. Natural tendency and born. Tendency inherit. Tendency inclination. And inner inclination, inner prompting, urge, drive, compulsion, need, intuition, natural feeling, sixth sense, second sight, insight, nose. D. Okay. Peace, ABG Divine. Peace. If they don't know how to use Supreme Mathematics and Supreme Alphabet, which most don't, then they can't do anything but misuse it and play with it. I agree. And playing and play, you are doing nothing but making devil. Damn, ABG. Why you coming here throwing haymakers? Key phrase. They don't know. Indeed. Mm, indeed. So I agree. I agree, ABG Divine. When you don't know how to use it, you make double. You see what I'm saying? Or even misinformation. You're misinformed, and then oftentimes people try to take the supreme math and then put it in the science that they advocate, and then make it seem like it came from that, which is not right and exact. Uh, as I see it, with knowledge, we know. Oh, hold on. Let's go there. As I see it, with knowledge, we know what is going on, so we are able to make a good decision. With instinct, we react or respond without knowing. However, our senses guide us toward knowing. Indeed. As a big man, I know that if someone walks up behind me and says boo, I won't be scared. In comparison to as a little boy, I may have been startled, scared, shook, hollered aloud, ran, turned, and swung, etc. Indeed. Indeed. And so, like I was saying, is that when we're babies, newborns, and all that stuff, we react to loud noises. Now, we are, I guess you could say, we either trained or we we adapt to loud noises, being in loud places and all that stuff, right? So, like a man has heard a whole bunch of loud noises in his life. So, oftentimes, you're not going to scare him by just saying "boo, bookity bookity bookity." You're not going to be able to do that. You see what I'm saying? And just for people that's coming in, we're building on. Well, first and foremost, our brother Amal Gilchrist asked the question: "What's the difference between knowledge and instinct?" So hold on, let's go up. More specifically, what's the difference between having knowledge and having instinct? To be right, exact, right? So then we were building on that. Uh, so, like the title said, justice or justified. And we went through certain degrees of, okay, is this justice or justified? You know what I'm saying? And I was building earlier about the last build I had that said Lord Bernie's rant is Wise Prince of Savage, and we was building on agreeing all the time. Do we have to agree on everything? And I said I don't even agree with myself all the time. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to agree with someone else. So before that bill, the Lord Bernie rant and his wife's Prince of Savage, there was, like 5 minutes before that bill, I had finished up one that says it's the black man God. You know what I'm saying? And so in that build, I was building for almost 3 hours on showing and proving that the black man is God. And towards the end of that build, um, someone named Black Mind Allah came on asking me questions about the 5% history. And I'm like, okay, peace, what's your name? Where are you from? He said, Connecticut. How long you had this knowledge? He said, 3 years. I'm like, okay, that's peace. That's peace. And he started asking about the history, all that stuff. Like, oh, um, when did Allah come home from Matterhorn? I think that's what he said. And I was like, well, check this out. Do you have an enlightenment? He said, no. So I said, okay, well, first get an educator. Well, I didn't say enlightenment. I said an educator. I said, first get an educator, and that type of history gets passed down. You see what I'm saying? And, get this right and exact. You see what I'm saying? So, that's when Lord Bernie came in, and, he called me a savage, and he was like, shake my head, all that good stuff, right? And at that moment, well, actually, so I was ending the live, and then someone came on to the live. Like I'll say, I gave Black Mind some time to hop on. Hold on. So here's the link for anyone that want to come on and build. So I put in the link. I was like, okay, peace. Black Mind, let's build. We could talk, all that stuff. So I gave him about 5 minutes. He didn't come on. So as I pushed in broadcast, I seen someone pop in, waiting in the backstage to get put on, but I already said push in broadcast, and then it ended the broadcast, right? So so I'm like, damn. So immediately I went back on live, and the live, if y'all saw it, was said building with Black Mind Allah, right? Because I want him to come back on so we could build. Like I actually seen him, I seen his face on the thing, right? So I wasn't expecting Lord Bernie to come on, but he came on. And when he said, you talking about getting an educator, you talk about somebody else getting an educator, you need to get an educator. That made me think that, and I could be wrong, that Black Mind was actually Lord Bernie or sent by Lord Bernie. I don't know. I don't know. But the point in that is this is what I'm saying is that throughout that whole thing, I don't know if Lord Bernie watched the whole thing about the black man God. But clearly he caught some of the stuff because he knew that I had daughters because I was building on that in that thing. So he at least watched an hour of that build. So in that whole time, he never disagreed or said anything about that. You see what I'm saying? So his only thing he was saying when he disagreed with me on that Lord Bernie rant and Wise Prince is a savage, or is Wise Prince a savage? The thing he disagreed was the things that Black Mind presented and asked. So I was not going to ask about the, a law, the history, because that's something you got to earn. Okay, you're a 5%er, you had it for about 3 years, and you don't have an educator. Okay, well, you need to find an educator and then, you know, uh, get that information from them. You see what I'm saying? So then he asks, what do you have as 5 on your supreme mathematics? This is it's not an unusual question, but we're building on it's the black man God. You see what I'm saying? We're building on it's the black man God. So so with that being said, I'm not about to hide nothing. Yeah, power refinement. So I said power or refinement because that's how I got it when I first got it, right? Sometimes I say power refinement, power or refinement. Doesn't matter. I can show and prove either way. So with that being said, the only thing, yeah. Hey, sell goods. I'm gonna get to that. I know I'm talking too much, but I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Yeah. So check this out. The only things I heard that he disagreed with me was the things that was at the end what Black Mind presented. When I said power or refinement, he made it seem like he's never heard anyone in this nation with power or refinement. And then he also said, I got my degrees fucked up when I had the one of 36 is after the one of 40. Like, look, the 120 is not a religious document. It's not the Holy Quran and it's not the Bible. You see what I'm saying? This knowledge was given mouth to ear. So some brothers don't have it in the same structure as other brothers. Now, these certain things made me wonder, is this just a justification to have a problem with me? Because check this out. A lot of people have the 1 to 36 after the 1 to 10. A lot of people do. And they have their own justifications. See, 120 is not our teachings. It's not our teachings. Supreme Math and Supreme Alphabet is our teachings. 120 is a cultural curriculum that we use um, to exercise the Supreme Math and Alphabet. And that's piece of people, don't agree, but 120 is not our teachings. It's a cultural curriculum, it's a cultural practice we do, like, okay, how do you see today's degree? But it's not our teachings because some of the stuff in there, it's not the 5% teaching. You see what I'm saying? So with saying that, okay, 120, I got it in the wrong order, that tells me you are not coming with justice. You're coming with justification. Because I just had a 3-hour building on is the black man God, and you had nothing to say about that. Nothing to say about how I showed and proved how, us in the chat building, showing and proving that the black man is God, and you viewing it for at least an hour because I was building on my daughters and stuff in that time. So you at least had to have known or heard a certain portion of that. And then using that I have more daughters than sons, like it's a diss or something. I have refinement, so that's why I have girls. So you telling me the guys that only got power in their math don't have any girls? Their firstborn wasn't a girl? So nobody at all that just has power, they don't have more girls. You see, this is religious thinking. It's religious thinking. So I'm gonna pause right there, and I'm gonna go to go through these because yeah, it's getting kind of long. My brother. Oh, hold on. My fault. Didn't mean to. I agree to an extent. They learned how to use the Supreme Math and Alphabet the same way, same as us. Had to learn a lot. Didn't get told how to use it. Yeah, look. I know it's a conversation between y'all, but y'all be dropping some science, so I gotta read it out. Peace. Peace to my brother Bujan, 793rd. Peace to the gods, earth, and all civilized. Teaching within their reality the right way, making the fruit brought forth in season. Random jewels and universal family with strong foundation. Pass on. Peace. Depending on your tree slash enlightener. Indeed. Now I'm going to get on to my tree and why, this is getting more attention than my other trolls. Pardon, catching up, indeed. So there's a link. Najee, he or her said, "Do you know who this is?" Then began to start bugging out, losing the knowledge of self, talking that savage talk. Indeed, indeed. And just to let you know, it's been a form of that ever since he came on his channel. See, he did not come to build, he came to destroy. Like I said, I was building on is the black man is God for 3 hours and not one mention on that live. He mentioned something that was the last 5 minutes of that live and made it a big thing. You see what I'm saying? I know Lord Bernie is here. Check this out. Are you saying that a lot of us got it wrong? We don't have supreme math or alphabet. We don't have the supreme mathematics right. You saying that the 1 to 36, if it's not after the 1 to 40, the 120 is void and obsolete? Like some people have the 1 to 14 and then the 1 to 36, then the 1 to 40. So what you're saying is that if we don't have it in order that you got it, and I don't even know if you got it that way. You could have it exactly how I got it, but you just justifying your issue with me because I'm not bowing down to you. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why a little later. But let's get on here. Right, exact. A lot of us had that weight put on us to go get it and make the corrections ourselves. We took responsibility of ourselves and didn't take anything on face value. It's on us. Indeed. It smells good. Just why I laughed earlier. Do you know who this is? Nah, fool. Who is this? We introduce ourselves. Indeed. Introduce ourselves. Amal Gilchrist, peace to the God. The power of one's justice depends on the strength and magnetism of their knowledge. Truth has power, but truth is definitely independent, or, pardon self. Truth has power, but power is definitely independent of truth. That's a whole different bill, G. A lot of the ones that gave out bad knowledge did so intentionally. They are our enemies. They are our enemies of Allah and came to ruin what He built. God examine all. Indeed. Remember, Allah had enemies in Harlem and New York City that were against what He taught. They are still there. And whoever they taught is still there too. No introduction of self, no showing face, no knowledge made born of his tree, no knowledge made born of when he got knowledge, no use of supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet as our language, etc. True indeed, ABG, everyone has to come amongst us and be examined to show and prove who they really are. That, that was a good breakdown on how we use 120 at Wise Prince. Peace. In electrical theory, power is represented in various forms: true power, reactive power, and apparent power. Damn! My Gilchrist dropping it. Okay, G. Look, you're going to have to build about that, man. Look, hey, I'm not versed in that. So, yeah, we might have, we're going to have to, do a build where you just come on and drop that science for us. Uh, some of the firstborns will tell you that all of them doesn't have the lessons or receive them the same. Some got degrees from the 1 to 40 before they got to. Indeed, that's what I'm saying, G. Before they got degrees from the 1 to 14. Indeed, firstborn ABG said that firstborn prince brought him to Allah, and then Allah gave them a specific degree. If y'all want to know that degree that He gave them, he talks about it on what Allah taught at the Schomburg. So hit that up. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. All right. So like I'm saying, right? I have no problem sharing what I know. Now I'm not sharing everything. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta leave the best part for yourself too. But check this out. This is why I have a issue. So check this out. My tree goes like this. It's me, right? Well, first and foremost, it's Allah, right? Then Allah, the firstborn I trace my tree through is firstborn prince. Firstborn prince. The third of the firstborn. All right. The next person, his name is Lord Just. His name is Lord Just. Yeah. So as you can see, it's a you know. So when I said your ways and actions are punishable and I punish you, listen, The oldest person in my tree, physically, right? That's still alive. His name is Lord Just. I never got to meet Allah in the physical. I never got to meet Firstborn Prince. The next person in my tree, his name is Lord Just. His name is Lord Just. He got this knowledge in the early 70s. He's from Mecca. And, on a side note, if y'all ever seen that build with Lord Born Justice, where he talks about the God that prepared him to meet Firstborn Prince, right? And the God that made him stop in the middle of the degree and start again, he's talking about Lord Just, the one that's in my tree. And he felt so strongly about Lord Just that he took on his name, but added the born in the middle. Lord Born Justice. Peace of the God. Now, the oldest person, or the person that had this knowledge the longest in my tree, his name is Lord Just. Then after him is Savior Knowledge. Then Savior Knowledge taught Y King, and Y King taught me. You see, I have a very strong relationship with Y King and Savior Knowledge. They're both here. Lord Just is down south. So, with that being said, this man has a name that's kind of like Lord Just. His name's Lord Justice. He said he got 120 in 1990. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Lord Just had it since the 70s. Got it directly from Firstborn Prince and was around when Allah was walking. He told me he wasn't sure if he actually met him. It's kind of foggy. He said, he kind of probably seen him because Lord Just grew up in Mecca. Now I'm giving you some history on the brothers of my tree. This is something Lord Just gave me. Now I'm sharing it with y'all to make a point, right? Lord Just is a very, I would say, powerful man. He's not something to play with. Now you meet him, he's a grandpa now, he's laughing, look, but I can tell he has strong magnetic. Hey, peace, 793rd. Jiffy has a vegetarian version that's fish, G. We'll send you a photo so you can shop for it. Nah, look, I don't eat fish either. But I got you. No, I know. I saw the Jiffy's vegetarian. At that point, I had some. I found something different. That's peace. So I'm gonna pause right there, right quick. Ready to make bad decision on the second day last Friday, uh, and that fridge by the bed story had me as frozen water after training is my shit. Yeah, man. Look, Bujan, man. I know you catching up, G. So I know. Yeah, indeed. A lot can't trace their tree back to Allah. Indeed, and I don't hold that against people. You see, because certain things happen in certain people's trees, blah blah blah. Got to know your origin in this world. Indeed. Now, Allah can't trace their tree back to Allah. Hey, look, I don't hold that against you, but as long as you know at least, most of your tree, that's peace. That's peace. That's peace. I don't, like he said, gotta know your origin in this world. It gets a little tricky when you don't know your tree. Because at this point, we're connected like on the internet. You see what I'm saying? And you should know gods from different areas and earths from different areas, right? So that, and at least know, okay, know people back in now why, because they have some history, you know, and they could be like, okay, well, okay, that's peace. Yeah, yeah. Who's your educator? Okay, okay. All right, who's his educator? Okay, okay. And that's you don't know. All right, well, let me go ask these people. Where did they say they was from? Are they from this area? Okay, I'm gonna check out that area. Yeah, this is very true at ABG. I had to go to Fort Greene and build with the guys to get some of my tree's history. Indeed, indeed, Divine King, you also have to have the initiative. I didn't just build with White King. I built with Savior knowledge. I built with Lord just. You see, when I came, firstborn prince returned to the essence like 13, 14 years. I couldn't talk to him. You see what I'm saying? When I came and got the knowledge, it was the 50th year of this nation. The whole big celebration, the 50th year, 2014. That's when even after that, actually, in October, September, October, that's when I got the math and alphabet, took my 3-day fast, all that. You see, I know my tree. ABG, peace, God. Not everyone takes the time nor have the money to do so. Indeed, look, very important. That's why I'm saying, like, okay, don't let the money, don't let the travel, stop you in doing that. You can hit up someone like, okay, call School of Mecca, or just okay, build with guys that's okay. So like, I know where Lord Justice from. I know where Savior Knowledge is from. I know where White King is from. You see what I'm saying? I know where all these brothers is from, and I got to build with them in person, in real time. You see what I'm saying? So there's certain perspective that Lord Just has, having the knowledge before White King was even born, right? Having the knowledge before I was even born. You see what I'm saying? Because, like I said, Lord Just got the knowledge in the early 70s. Savior got the knowledge when White King was born. So he had the knowledge as long as White King's been on this planet. You see what I'm saying? So there's a different perspective. Earlier we was talking about the brothers in the 60s and the 70s having, a different experience, right? And the brothers in the 70s, 80s, 80s, 90s, 90s, and 2000s, 2010, 2020s. So, when I was building on that, it's just that we can't expect us to have the same experiences. You get what I'm saying? As a nation and as coming into this knowledge, our experience is similar, but we dealing with different things. You get what I'm saying? So I never knew how it was growing up with the community affected by crack. By the time I grew up, crack was dying down. My family was affected, but it wasn't like the whole community was cracked out. It wasn't like that. You see what I'm saying? You see, I didn't grow up with a whole bunch of heroin addicts. I didn't grow up like that. You see what I'm saying? I also didn't grow up in the Black Power movement. I didn't grow up with the Black Panthers. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we we got to understand that we have different experiences. We got different experiences. So that doesn't mean one is right and one's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And what I was building on earlier is that I don't believe in a mystery God. So I don't think God has this magical power that he knows everything. And then when I say I'm God, I don't think that I have to know everything either. You see, we know the science of everything in life. We don't know everything in life, though. I don't know what you ate for lunch. I don't know what you ate for breakfast. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what all of your children, their name is, right? Y'all don't know my children's name, all of them or whatever. You don't know my queen's name. I don't know your queen's name. Divine King, I don't know that 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 let's see I don't know that that woman. I don't want to say your woman. I don't know that her name. You get what I'm saying? But the point is that I don't subscribe to God having to know everything. You see what I'm saying? Now, collectively, as the mind of Allah, that's a different story. But an individual knowing everything, we don't subscribe to that. That's religious thinking. So if you come on here asking me questions and I say, yeah, I don't know. And then you shake your head expecting me to know everything, look, you're not dealing in equality. You're not just, and it's not justice. That's a justification for not liking me. And look, man, what you eat don't make me shit. I don't care who don't like me. You show and prove that I'm wrong. That's peace. I can accept that because a wise man always acknowledges the truth. That's also in that plus degree. That's the seventh principle in that plus degree. A wise man always acknowledges the truth. Always. And like Divine King said a long time ago, hold on. Let's see if I can actually get to it. Should be able to. Yep. Hold on. I gotta find it. Indeed. Divine King said, as 5% we deal with or are supposed to deal with facts only, no matter if it's against us or for us. We have to always speak truth. Indeed. So check this out. Look, man, I've done a few things. I made a live that said a correction. The red man is not the original man. Because I assumed that he was. And I made a correction. The build on is a black man God. In the chat, I made a correction because I said the Hun people, right? And when I was showing those pictures, it's actually the sand people, not the hand people, the sand people. SAN. You see, so I mean, I was a letter off, but that changed the whole idea of the people. So, pardon self, you have to not only be right, but you have to be exact. You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with being wrong. You just have to acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge that. So look, if I'm wrong, show and prove that I'm wrong, and it's peace. You know what I'm saying? It's peace. So, like I was saying, right? I have a high expectation. When you say your name is Allah, right? I have a high expectation. You see, just like you should have a high expectation of me. My name is Wise Prince Allah. You see, it says it right there. So you should have an expectation that I'm wise. I handle myself in a princely way, and that I reflect the mind of Allah. You should expect that of me. Indeed. But first and foremost, I expect that of myself. So, all that to say is that when someone comes amongst us causing issues and stuff, and he said his name is Lord Justice, and his ways and actions are other than just, then you don't get the reward of brotherhood. You get the punishment that you said your name means. Now, am I right or wrong that justice is one's reward or penalty for one's ways and actions? Is that right and exact, or am I wrong? Remember, justice was Allah's right hand man. That's his right hand man. All right, let me take a break while y'all do your thing. And DABG, like Wise said, you have to make sure you're in tune with your tree and the right ciphers in this nation. I'm in tune with gods from all over. Indeed. You know, look, there were some gods from they were from Love of Law, right? Actually, I don't know if they're actually from Love of Law, but they're from Cali. And early on, they kept me sharp, right? Because they moved here and we used to like debate all the time. Like, they kept me sharp. And one of the things they asked me is that, you know, they was like, are you in tune with gods outside of the Morocco cipher? At the moment, I wasn't. You see what I'm saying? I was just in tune with the gods of Morocco, which is Seattle. And I mean, I talked to some, but I wasn't in tune. Like, I know I got a whole bunch of people's numbers. You see what I'm saying? I can call people and build and all that stuff, right? And it's funny, I'm in tune with gods and other ciphers. I'm not in tune with the gods from LA. Well, from the guys that I was talking about, right? One, you probably know of him because he's very controversial now. He's in that whole, you know, disciple, knowledge God, disciple thing. But we're not even going to talk about that, right? So they was like, are you in tune with, anybody else? And that was important. So being in tune with people that, so there's some called confirmation bias, right? So when Divine King was talking about, even if the facts support you or against you, you got to speak the truth. That's not verbatim, but so that means, okay, I built with gods from Medina. When I went to the first show and proof, my first show and proof, 2021, I built with the gods of Medina, some of the gods of Medina, right? And we had this discussion about um, uh, we had this discussion on power refinement, and it was peace. They didn't tell me I wasn't a 5 percenter, you know. In this nation, we are taught to show and prove. And if you can show and prove without a doubt, because listen, I can agree with you 100%. You see, I can agree with you. You see, I'm still going like, okay, let's say Divine King and ABG Divine are building, right? They're building about something, right? And I 100% agree with ABG Divine. And he's building, right? And let's just say Divine King, he's like giving it to him everything, like blah, blah, blah. Let's just say that, for example, right? And after the build, I'm like, peace, ABG Divine. Yeah, man, I agree with what you said. And he's like, man, shit, why didn't you say anything? It's like, okay, well, you got to show and prove on your own. You make that statement. I didn't. There's many bills where you say, hold on. They say, hold on. Ain't nobody bailing anyone out. You say something, you held responsible because we have agreed that your word is bond regardless to whom or what. So when you give your word, it's on you to show and prove. You see what I'm saying? It's on you to show and prove. Okay, so ABG Divine, same. I've been going to Mecca, Medina on my own since 1990, age 16. You see, that's another thing. In 1990, I was 1 years old, depending on the month that ABG Divine is talking about, right? So there's certain things that ABG Divine and I experience differently. So going back to what I was talking about earlier, it's something that me and him we experienced something differently. I was one when he did that. You see what I'm saying? That's peace, ABG. Some of these newborns have to make the effort to get in tune with the true and living. Sometimes where they are located is a desert, so you have to find that oasis come close to you. Yeah, you go and get the teachings right and exact, and then you make 5% where you at. And brothers and sisters have to understand you have to travel sometimes to get the jewels. Indeed, indeed. You see what I'm saying? So, like for example, when I was talking about Black Mind, I don't know him. He never came on the channel. So when he's talking about the history of the nation, why should I give him that and I don't know him? And then, and indeed, then take it back to where you're from and turn that into an yeah, indeed, ABG Divine. Peace. True square is wisdom power. What do you mean by that? 007 Bond? Year one in Love of Law is 1989. I got sparked in 1988 by a god from Queens, New York, and didn't know of any gods in Cali until 1990 after I went to New York City on my own and got this right exact. Indeed, that's peace. And at that time, that's when the knowledge, approximately that time, 1990, that's when the knowledge came to Morocco. Indeed. So, with all that being said, is that we have to understand that okay, there's a difference between justice and justify or justification. You see what I'm saying? Like, is is an issue with me because I have power refinement. Is that justified? Is it a justification or is it justice? I can show and prove how power or refinement, actually, let's go with refinement. I can show and prove how refinement has benefited me in my life exponentially. You see what I'm saying? I can show and prove how I use refinement in my everyday life. Came back to live law, and a few guys I started meeting had it mixed, diluted, and tempered with. Then some traveled later on to Mecca. Are you talking about Born Allah? Because he tells that story too. I met the guy. He came out in Morocco. I should have had some pictures with him. Next time he come out, gonna have some reflection. We ate lunch, build all that stuff. Justice is the light of truth reflected. Five. Five is reflected. Five. Five, your truth versus truth. Yeah, can you redo that in a way that makes sense? Justice is the light of truth reflected. Indeed. Or justice is the light of truth. Is there a comma? Reflected five, five, your truth versus truth. Yeah, damn, that shit hurt. 007 Bond, where's Bond? Can you rewrite that? It sounds like something that could have been powerful, but hmm indeed, that's peace. Oh, knowledge born gave me the knowledge of this area being called West Asia up here in the Bay. Which knowledge born? You talking about my knowledge born? My brother? So yeah, so that being said, it's just how we interact with each other. Oh, now it's born from Philly. Okay, peace. Allah seen her everywhere. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to be a part of y'all conversation. That's why I keep highlighting it. Y'all forgot about little old us. You must raise your power to its fullest equality through your refinement in all endeavors. Peace. Peace. I can see that. Yeah, so you just got to be able to show and prove. Because with that said, if I'm at the show and prove and I'm like, I could show and prove power or refinement. You see what I'm saying? And there's a cipher. Let's say there's 10 gods. Five of them could have power or refinement. But if I'm stumbling and I'm tripping up on my words, ain't nobody coming to help me. You see, ain't nobody coming to help me. So you got to know what comes out of your mouth. Fire, not fish. Pardon the spell check. Hold on. what's fire? You know I like to go to DuckDuckGo. Yeah. First thing that came up was jewelry. Food. Your food. Uh, I don't know, G. What is that? I need to travel up to Morocco one day soon. Hey man, it's it's beautiful city. Yeah, I need to go. I only passed through the sack when I was on the Greyhound going to Vegas back in the day. Um, yeah, I mean no, because I got off and then me and my god brother, we walked through and went to the mall over there. It was early, so not many people was out. I think it was downtown Sac. We went to the mall, looked around. I mean, we was broke, young 20-year olds. So yeah, there wasn't much to do in the Sac for us, and we had to get back on the bus. So we just walked around, went to like a corner store, got some food with our EBT cards, all that stuff. Hey, God, wise, we built for a minute before with Knowledge Born. He got me in tune with the true and living out here in the bay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah, that's my brother. Knowledge Born. That's why I was asking which one. Oh, when you said from Philly, oh, you see, take this out. Cause to me, he was always like the Bay. You know what I'm saying? I know, he from the East, but he spent a lot of time in the Bay, and he kind of got that, Bay Area kind of thing going on. So yeah, indeed, I got you. I got you. Yeah, indeed. So, and yeah, I need to travel down the Sac. I need to travel, and go where the gods is at. You see what I'm saying? So, indeed, build all over. Allah seen her everywhere. Indeed. Yeah. So it's in closing with that situation. It's like, yeah, man, I ain't got no problem with him. Lord, Lord, Bernie. But bringing up people's children and stuff. Like, come on, man. That's not what a civilized person does. That's not what a civilized person does. Yeah, he for sure one of us out here. Oh, yeah, he for sure one of us out here, laugh aloud. But he from Philly. That's my big bro. Always love him. But yeah, man, look. Hey, if y'all seen I've been dropping a lot of videos today. And yeah, so I have a whole bunch of videos of Supreme Understanding when he's out here. That's big bro too. Um, I have some videos at the not many this year of the show improved. Last year I got some videos. And there's some builds I didn't record, like Ramel Supreme. He was like, him and uh Rashim, I think. Yeah, Rashim. They specifically said, this is a bill that is not for the internet. So like, hold on. When the guy just said, indeed, and brothers and sisters have to understand you have to travel sometimes to get the jewels. And you have to understand it's not just for anyone because they've given you something, and that doesn't mean that okay, you give it to everyone where you're from. You see what I'm saying? Because you're the one who took the initiative to come. You're the one who came and sat at the feet of giants and, came and built with the gods and with, humility and humbleness and said, you know, I, I may not have it all right and exact, so can I learn from you? And that's peace. That's peace. And they're going, sometimes they give you what they want. Well, all the times they give you what they want, even if it's nothing or a whole bunch. You see what I'm saying? So when I went, the first year I went to show and prove, I was at the school all day from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. I was there. I did not leave. I was building with the gods. I was in St. Nicholas Projects. I was out in the garden. I was in front of the school, like, 793rd, uh, Knowledge I Got Allah, um, uh, Righteous to Bar, uh, He Kareem, um, Self I Build was there a couple of times. Dark Him was building with Dark Him a long ass time. You see what I'm saying? So, pardon self if I forget anybody. Did I say Knowledge Born? If not, Knowledge Born. And then this year, it was more me, Knowledge Born. Oh, pardon, pardon self. Did I say Bujan or did I just say 793rd? Bujan, if I didn't say him. Like, I have a whole bunch of reflections with Bujan. Me, Knowledge Born, and Bujan. You know, hella reflections. Yeah, so uh, yeah. I'm from the West Coast Harlem, San Francisco. I grew up with knowledge, but not knowledge itself. Nah, G. Mm-mm-mm. I wouldn't call San Fran the West Coast Harlem. That's Oakland. The West Coast Harlem is Oakland. Like, you guys is close. Y'all close. San Fran, Oakland, y'all damn near the same city. Check this out, man. Nah. The Black Panthers came out of Oakland. San Francisco, y'all know what y'all known for. Yeah, but I would say Oakland, because Oakland, you know, based on the knowledge that I have, Oakland has always expressed its blackness. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Let's get down. Exposing who? Himself. Exactly. Historically, it's the West Coast Harlem based off jazz and how folks had to come here to tour. San Fran was 75% black before Oakland got. Okay. Well, yeah, share some of that history. The history I know is that Oakland has always been Fillmore. You see, check this out. The main thing I know about Fillmore is Messy Morph. Because then, hold on, if you're gonna say the West Coast Harlem and people had to come there for jazz, then you got to say Los Angeles then, because you said West Coast Harlem. That's a pretty big, like, that's a pretty big. Yeah, Messy Mar from Filmo. Look, hey, check this out, man. Look, I'm talking about the old school Messy, disobey shit, disobey ish. That Messy, not the boy Messy, not that one, not the one that was beefing with Too Short. I'm talking about the one that was on fire. Yeah, yeah, exposing who himself. Check this out. Look, man. So any, yeah, and look, man. I know, man. Look, man. We ain't gotta talk about that. Look, hey, at one point he made Phil Mo proud, and another yeah. I mean, I can't speak for y'all out there, but it don't look right. It don't look good. Yeah, you could do the knowledge on it, God. It's historically recorded how San Francisco was called the West Coast Harlem. Okay, okay. So it was called that. Okay, that's peace. Got to, yeah, got to take the best part. Look, man. Hey, you know, but yeah. So and just being mindful that in any like we can disagree with each other, but let's not take what something we disagree with and make it a justification not to be able to build and agree on some things. My uncle does not know he's my uncle. Yeah, indeed. My uncle does not know he is my uncle. And also, which is implied in that, is that my uncle does not know I'm his nephew. That's also implied in that. So then what kind of relationship do you have with him if he doesn't know you're his nephew? Yeah, my uncle does not. He is my uncle. Doesn't know he's my uncle. He does not speak his own language. So if you're his nephew and you speak his language, right? As a nephew, can you then speak the uncle's language? So as five percenters, we don't necessarily speak that language of how we used to speak, right? We speak with supreme mathematics and supreme alphabets. But we got to go to the people and speak their language. You see what I'm saying? My uncle does not know he is my uncle. And my uncle does not know I'm his nephew. So he doesn't know we're related. So that is implied in it. You see what I'm saying? That's implied in it. So then you got to be the one to speak the uncle's language and tell him who he is and let him know not to be afraid of the devil because you're a big man now. So check this out, right? Also, you got to be able to speak, you know, uh, oh, okay, vegetarian Jiffy is fire. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, indeed. So indeed. So okay, we used to travel up to San Fran from Inglewood when I was 11 to see my grandmother. We used to run through Fillmore with my cousins. Indeed. Okay, hold on. Let's get it. Yes, us and Fillmore has a lot of ties and family down in LA area and Compton. Indeed. If you got friends and family from Fillmore, you automatically a cousin. Yeah, that's kind of like Seattle. Um, over here, well, I mean, you got to grow up with people here. People here, they call it Seattle freeze, and culturally, you're not really accepted unless you grew up with someone. Like it's hard to make friends here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a transplant, you come here like for work or whatever, it's hard. People are well, one, people are passive aggressive. Two, people are very they're flaky. And if you didn't grow up with them in like elementary, middle school, high school, stuff like that, and y'all built a friendship, it's kind of difficult. You move here, you'll find yourself being friends with people that are other transplants. You know, it's a cultural thing up here. Vegetarian Jiffy Fire. Yeah, and I was born originally from Trenton. Yeah, I should have said that. Spent time out in the Bay. The guy travels light and keeps it moving. Shout out to the guy. Pace to our brother Knowledge Born. 793rd. Appreciate the add on, but seeing the pics posted from last year, indeed. Yeah, yeah, we were sharing pics, Bujan. I still got all those pics and oh, you talk about on the channel? Yeah, yeah. I was doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. Like King, you already know I mighty appreciate you as well. Adding on throughout, making knowledge born. That's how NYC is. If you didn't grow up there, you won't make friends. I knew the gods, so I connected to now why in ways the average person from Cali couldn't. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know if it's a up north thing, but like the culture in Seattle, yeah, it's gonna be hard making friends, man. You come here and you don't really know somebody. Like people, you gotta be vouched. There's no people don't say northern hospitality. You see what I'm saying? It's not a northern hospitality. It's a southern hospitality. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, but of course, there's your exceptions. You can meet the right person. They introduce like if the gods moved here, they'll have a welcome mat. Like peace, yeah. I mean, I will come, you know, see y'all build with you and stuff. And like, okay, yeah, look, come through. I'll show you how we live in, take you to all the places, all that stuff, depending on how much time you have. If you actually move here, indeed, yeah, I'll introduce you to the people, introduce you to who you need to know, all that stuff, get you right and exact, depending on where you move to. Like, the brother Self I Build, he out in Olympia. That's like an hour and some away. And that may not seem like a lot to y'all in East Coast, but hour away in Washington is different. Like an hour away, like I can travel 3 hours and still be in Washington, depending on which way I go. So like, three, uh, I can get to Portland in 2.5 hours from where I'm at. Portland is the next major city outside of Washington, and it's right there on the border. So it takes 2.5 hours to drive, and most of that, 99% of that time, you still in the same state. So I lived in Pelon and Harlem since the 90s, or yeah, 90s. Then back to Cali in 2014. I think it's that in most spots you can't just come around and nobody knows you. No, I'm speaking like even. I'm not speaking like you walking down the hood like do 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 do. No, I'm not speaking like that. I'm just saying like, okay, let's say you at the Justice Cipher and you and the person hit it off cool, and y'all, you cool. You like, okay, all right, you dope. You see what I'm saying? They're like, hey, you trying to, go grab some beers and a burger this weekend? And a person here be like, yeah, sure, that's for sure. Well, yeah, let's do that. Then when the time comes, they hella flaky. They either don't answer the phone, yeah. Hey, look, driving from the Bay to LA is like 6 to 8 hours. If you never been on the West Coast, because like what's the biggest state on the East Coast? New York City? It's either New York or Pennsylvania as far as landmass, right? Yeah, so yeah, six for me, straight down I-5. I take that drive regularly. Yeah, I-5, we got I-5. The I-5 go down straight the whole West Coast. So yeah, you could just take I-5 all the way to Seattle. Yeah, so like some people in the East, they may not understand, like, damn, y'all drive 8 hours and you're in the same state? Like, check, look, the top 10 biggest states in the United States is, I would say, 9 out of 10 is on the West Coast. So, hold on. Just to give y'all an idea, right? Boom. Here's the. Oh, I gotta move this. Damn, they blocked Alaska. Anyways, Alaska's number one. Texas is number two. California's number three. Oh, yeah, yeah, number three. Montana's four. New Mexico's five. Arizona six. And I was pissed when I found out Arizona was bigger than Nevada. I was pissed. So this is all the states, the largest states by size, right? A lot of these states, like Wyoming doesn't even have 1 million people in the whole state. Alaska doesn't have 1 million people in the whole state. You see what I'm saying? Now they incentivize people in Alaska to live there by paying for them to live there. You see, you get a check, I think, once a year. Um, they give you, they pay you to live there as long as you're there at least 6 months of the year. Well, you gotta be there a full year and then they pay you. But yeah, so the largest states, right? They're all, most of them are on the West Coast, or you can say the West Side, and then Texas, right? I don't know if people consider Texas down south. I always consider it down south, but people be like, "Nah, Texas ain't down south." It's kind of weird, but yeah. They don't consider Texas down south. So, all these big ass states right here, a lot of these states aren't even as populated as the states on the East Coast, which are smaller. Like New York is the most populated state. Or actually, hold on. No, New York City is the most populated city. California is the most populated state. But New York is next. Chicago, well, Illinois is right here. I think it's second, or not second, third. And then you got Pennsylvania. You got all you see. So a lot of the population is over in the East Coast. The East Coast has a bigger population than the West Coast, but there's a lot of land here that it's just large as shit. Yeah, so that was yeah, so yeah, yeah, uh, yeah, straight, straight. You take I-5 straight up into Washington. Just pass through. Most of the drive is just California, really. Yeah, it's just getting out of California. Yeah, you already know I haven't looked at drive. I haven't took that drive in 6 years. Yeah, an hour and a few away from New York City is either C Truth where I rested at, or Philly, or in Trenton. Yeah, like you can be 2 hours away from Now Why and be 3 states away. That may be an exaggeration, but yeah, like all that shit is hella small, bunched up. Like Rhode Island is the smallest state, and like it's hella small. It's right there. Connecticut, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, all that shit. Like they be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm only 4 hours away from New York," and they be all the way in Virginia. Again, that could be an exaggeration, but I'm just saying, like 4 hours away from Washington, you're either in Idaho or you're in Oregon. You're not a couple of states away. You're not a couple of states away. What's the biggest difference between 10 and 40? 30. Uh, 6 to 8 upstate New York, West New York, like Buffalo and Rochester. Oh yeah. Well, New York City is like at the very end of Now Why, right? It's like at the very tip of the bottom. So if you like, boom, it's yeah. But again, New York is like the biggest state over there. Yeah, Cali takes up half the West Coast, indeed. Shit, more than half. Cali is the size of Japan. Texas is the South to me. Yeah, I always considered it the South. Those from the bottom of Texas, Houston, Port uh, Arthur, they say the South. Yeah. Heard someone from Houston in a vlog say he was from down south earlier, so it must be subjective. Yeah, because I asked someone from the South, like Georgia, they don't consider Texas the South. And he gave a reason. He was like, I think it was an Israelite. He was like, yeah, they're more technological over there. Like they're not poor, I guess. I mean, I don't know what he was kind of getting at. He was like, they're not like us. I guess I mean Atlanta, it's not poor. Miami's not poor. And what's crazy is that some people consider Florida the East Coast and not the South. This shit is the most southern state in the United States. Pat Bun Pat Bun B Pimp C ish. Hey, look, man, you got to go with the UGK also. I got fam in Houston. Love that city. Love Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. Hey, I really never been down south like that. The only time I've been down south is when I got I flew out to Fort um, Fort Lauderdale to get on a cruise ship. It's the only time. Can get to East Mass from New York going through 3 states, but still less time to get to West New York upstate. Yeah, I wouldn't even go to I wouldn't even go to West New York then. I would just go to, Connecticut, Mass, all that stuff. A lot of true and living in Houston, indeed. Hear her. Some of them love spreading the seeds in different ways. Hey, man, you know it. That is right, though. DA to New York is approximately 4 hours. Yeah, you see, it was a guesstimation, G. Yeah, so like I said, man, look, if you going, look, in my travels, so from Seattle to Las Vegas, it's 17 hours. It's 17 hours. Like 12 of those hours is Nevada. The way I go, right, is that you going from Washington and then you pass it through Idaho and then you going like you pass it through Oregon and then shooting through Idaho. Idaho's kind of, Idaho's thick. So then you hit the top of Nevada and then Nevada is hella long. So it's like 12 hours of nothing but desert and small ass little cities trying to be Las Vegas, like Reno. And it's just hella desert. And you're like, man, like this shit looks all the same. It's like all the same. Definitely a lot of chewing living down in Texas area. Indeed, I want to go. I went to school in Rochester, got knowledge in Connecticut, used to rest in Mass, traveling through New England as well. So keep it moving. Like everything in North Carolina, upstate New York. First place I ever went outside of Cali was Houston. The first place I ever went outside of Nevada, I think it was Arizona. Because the Grand Canyon is kind of funny. It's like between Nevada and Arizona, and it's like, did I really leave Nevada? Or am I in Arizona? So hold on, let's look that up right quick. Okay. I mean okay. Oh, yeah, actually, never mind. It's a good ways away from Nevada. Not that far away, but not that far away, but it's definitely Arizona. If that map is right and exact. New York takes a few hours to get to. Pimp C Bun B equals UGK. Indeed. Exactly about going upstate, especially now during 3 to 5 of lake effects. So upstate, word is it is low key the same area. Yeah, yeah. I looked at the map. If the map is right and exact, it's Arizona. We'll get that to them. But the first place, like I remember being young, a school trip to the Grand Canyon. I remember, vaguely remember, but I remember. But the real official first place was when we left Vegas to go to Seattle. It seems like they are in the same area somewhat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Peace to Lord Divine who pointed out at the show and proved that West Pennsylvania is basically the Midwest. Damn. Okay, that's peace. Yeah, The furthest I went upstate New York is White Plains, laugh out loud, and that's not far from the city. Yeah, I barely even went. I haven't even went to Medina. I haven't went to Pelon. I haven't went to Oasis. I haven't went to the Dead. I haven't went to any of that. Oh, having a whole bunch of. Okay, that's peace. I'll read that. I'll read that a little later. All right, just checking some stuff. Oh, that's peace. Appreciate it. Smell good. Peace. Peace to the God. Peace. Peace. Appreciate. Oh shit. Appreciate it. Yeah, we kind of we kind of got into some other stuff, but you know how that's how it is. That's how it is. I know the five boroughs like I know Cali, and I traveled through New York solo. Yeah, like I was only in Mecca the first year in the show and prove, and Knowledge Born took me to I think it was Savior's Island, or is it Lord's Island? I think it was Savior's Island this year. No, uh, a cat I used to run with worked down in Seattle, and cats from Now Why say he was living like Fraser, Westchester. It's a few minutes right next to uh, York. What is YO? Um, Not York, but Yonkers. Young. What's YOG? The Vernon and now Rule. What's YO? I'm not familiar with the train, dollar cab, walk, whatever, anywhere. Yeah, I mean, if you walk like that you belong there, and more times that nine, 8 times out of 10, it's cool. Have to move you around next time you touch the east side. Yeah, man, look, come on, Boujan. Yeah, come on, man. Gotta show me some love. But check this out. I came out there twice. Now it's your turn to come over here, Lord's Island. Oh, Saviors is where Sunez is from. Okay. Yeah, Knowledge Born took me where his educator he has that store at. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah, Yonkers. Yeah, I kind of figured it was Yonkers. The five boroughs in the New York City is big. Is just a bigger version of the Bay to me. Yeah, it's just crazy. Not from stays, YO Yonkers. Your man. I stayed in Sunset Park area, Medina, when I visited, and I was able to go to Mecca on the train. It was just like the BART out here, in the most part. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was based on New York. I always saw it as Inglewood, Compton, and Watts. Loved in all three. Yeah, do y'all see it like L.A. How New York, how Now I is? Indeed, lived. Um, Indeed. Yeah. So, That's a good build. Um, hold on. If anyone want to come on, build. If y'all got something to ask me, anything. If not, probably I'm gonna get off pretty soon. Gotta go to stores, get some food, all that stuff. Navarre, New Rochelle, Yonkers, Mount Vernon, where Heavy D was from, all very close, same, even overlapping to the Bronx, the P's, Sunset is where the God is from. Yeah, y'all, yeah, man, you gotta take me out and about, man. Y'all, Yeah, so for the show and prove, I stayed in Mecca. I wanted to stay because I didn't want to hop on no train. I don't want to do none of that. I wanted to walk to the school. Because mind you, I wanted to be there the whole day. So normally, like, if you see me and I'm at the show and prove, I'm there. I'm there days before the show, like a day or two before the show and prove. And if y'all seen that video I posted, I was helping Dark Kim and CI and they son in the garden, fixing, cleaning up stuff, all that stuff. You know, showing equality when no one is looking. You know what I'm saying? Like that video is 5 months old. Yeah, that video is 5 months old. I'm just now sharing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't like, oh, look what I'm doing in the schoolyard, in the yard. Look what I'm doing. I'm picking up trash, blah blah blah. Like, nah, man. From Inglewood, so have to touch down in Inglewood. We'll touch on Inglewood one of these days, as I heard they're gentrifying like parts of. Yeah, if you came to Seattle before 2008 and you came to Seattle now, completely different. Being locked up on the East Coast, being from Cali was an experience. Yeah, have to get you on and build on here. ABG Divine, got to get you on and tell us some of your history. I watched some of your interviews, so the YD Dumar, the Dumar YD. Do they got a YD Dumar Foundation? Oh, Fountain. The Dumar YD Fountain is just an incredible close up as you captured it. Peace. Indeed. It's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. I don't know if they're gonna put the fish in there because they son, they was talking about getting turtles. And they son was like, yeah, man, we ain't gotta buy turtles. We could just go to he was talking about some lake that was close by or not that far and there's hella turtles or some shit. Like, yeah, we could grab those up. Yeah, he didn't go get the turtles. Indeed, anytime in the very near future. Yeah, we can schedule something and I can have you on and you just, build and build what you want, talk about, and we can, do it like that, do it like that, do it like that. Indeed. So yeah, I'm gonna end this right here. I might get on later. It just depends on how much I got going on. Um but yeah, this was a good one. This is a good one. We, just like the 5%, we talking about one thing and then we go to another because we swift and changeable. You know what I'm saying? Like, we swift and changeable and we can build on anything. You see, first we was building on justice, justified. We was building on incidents that wasn't positive. Not, then we was building on uh, states and all that stuff. I mean, there was bills in between that and where we from and all this. Peace to the nation of gods and earths. I missed this one. Indeed, peace, seven power. I beat. Yeah. Yeah, so I might get on later on, depending on when I get done with everything. Like my brother Bujan said, peace to the gods, earth, the baby, and all civilized. And I'm gonna say that too. Peace to the God, peace to the earth, peace to all the civilized people around the universe. You see what I'm saying? Peace to the righteous people. And also peace to the unrighteous people. Hopefully you clean yourself up and then come amongst the righteous. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, you said the second one is the correct one? Bar yourself out for a minute. The second one is the correct one. Peace. Damn, y'all coming in late. Peace. Or were you always around, Casey? Peace, y'all. Peace. Peace to the cipher. Just seeing you on, God. Yeah, Jarrell, I might come on later on. But for those that just saw I'm on, hit up some of those videos I posted earlier today. Of the fountain. I got some where Supreme Understanding's building. I have a whole bunch of videos of Supreme Understanding, him coming out here. This is it was before COVID and all that, so it's peace, but the information is still peace. So yeah, got some videos coming from the big brother um Supreme Understanding. I'm a strive to get some videos of Savior Knowledge. Now, if y'all want to know Savior Knowledge and how he talks, go to a law school in Mecca and go to the Morocco Cipher. It's a playlist on Morocco Cipher. There's a uh, Savior Knowledge. There's True Father, which he's one of the firstborn in Morocco. There's also White King. If y'all want to know White King, what he looks like and how he talks, he's on there too. He did an interview and stuff like that. So indeed, yeah. If I had more time, I would. I would stay on. I have no problem with building. So I'm gonna see if we can. If I come on later, if not, I could see if I come on. Tomorrow. It might be early tomorrow. So gotta have. Gonna have to wind it back as I'm at the Justice Cipher build. Yeah. Okay. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, so like I said, man, y'all, it was a great one. I appreciate y'all, coming through, like, subscribe, share, or hit that notification. You know, like I said, I appreciate it. Peace of the God, peace of the earth, peace of the babies, and all the civilized people around the universe. Peace.